Welcome to our channel. Today we will look at rare photos of the Civil War generals. Please subscribe and press likes. General Ulysses S. Grant, the Union's leading general, is pictured in 1864. Grant's relentless campaigns ultimately forced the Confederacy's surrender in 1865, securing his legacy as a war hero. General Sherman rides through Atlanta after forcing Confederate General Hood to abandon the city. Sherman's troops occupied the city for 3 months, recovering from their grueling campaigns. Johnny Clem, just 13, became the youngest soldier in the U.S. Civil War. Rising to the rank of Major General later in life, his story symbolizes the war's impact on young lives. General Winfield Scott, who led U.S. forces in multiple wars, including the Mexican-American War and early Civil War campaigns, is seen here with his staff. Scott's Anaconda Plan influenced Union strategy. This early photo manipulation shows General Ulysses S. Grant at City Point, where he established his headquarters during the Siege of Petersburg in 1864. The photo was altered around 1902. A young George Armstrong Custer is pictured during his West Point days, around 1859. Custer would later become famous for his cavalry command in the Civil War and his final stand at Little Bighorn. A famous photo of General Robert E. Lee, seated with his son, Major George Custis Lee, and Colonel Walter Taylor, taken on the porch of his Richmond home shortly after the Civil War ended. Known as Fighting Joe, General Joseph Hooker led Union forces during key Civil War battles. A bold and controversial leader, he was notorious for his hard drinking and flamboyant lifestyle. Union General Jefferson C. Davis, seated in a tent with a fellow officer, played key roles in several Civil War battles, though his career was marred by his involvement in a controversial killing. General William Tecumseh Sherman, a leading Union general during the Civil War, poses with his staff, including Oliver Howard and John Logan. Their strategies played a critical role in the Union's victory. A photo of Union officers, including Brigadier General Ely S. Parker, one of 2 Native Americans to rise to this rank during the Civil War. Parker was instrumental in drafting Lee's surrender terms. A 1865 photograph of General George Custer, seated with his wife, Elizabeth, and brother, Thomas. Custer played key roles in both the American Civil War and the Indian Wars. Admiral Dahlgren, famed for his innovations in naval artillery, helped the Union gain superiority in naval warfare. His designs, including the Dahlgren gun, were critical to the Union's naval success. In 1862, President Lincoln visited General McClellan's camp after the Battle of Antietam, urging him to strike at Lee's forces. McClellan's hesitation led to his removal from command shortly after. General Robert Anderson, commander of Fort Sumter when Confederate forces first attacked, is seen here in 1863. Telescope in hand, after the fort's surrender, marked the war's beginning. General Porter's staff, including Lieutenant Custer, posed during the Peninsula Campaign. Porter faced controversy and court-martial after his defeat at the Second Battle of Bull Run. Confederate General J.S. Carr pictured during a post-war reunion. Carr, an officer in the Confederate Army, became active in veterans organizations after the Civil War ended. General Alfred Pleasonton, cavalry commander during the Battle of Gettysburg, poses with his staff. His leadership during the battle was vital to the Union victory in this critical engagement, a rare post-war gathering of Union and Confederate leaders, including Generals Beauregard, Wallace, and Lee. This image symbolizes the complex process of reconciliation after the Civil War. This 1862 photo shows 4 officers of the 4th Pennsylvania Cavalry at Westover Landing. The regiment played significant roles in key campaigns, including the Peninsula Campaign. Civil War general and former U.S. President Ulysses S. Grant writes his famous memoirs on his porch shortly before his death in 1885. His memoirs remain a crucial first-hand account of the war. General Hermann Haupt, a civil engineer and key figure in revolutionizing Union military transportation, floats on a makeshift pontoon boat on the Potomac River in 1862. Union General Ulysses S. Grant stands alongside his horse, Cincinnati, during the Civil War. Grant's leadership proved essential in securing Union victories and the eventual Confederate surrender. A colorized photo of General Grant at Cold Harbor during one of the bloodiest battles of his overland campaign. Despite heavy Union losses, Grant's relentless pressure weakened the Confederates. President Lincoln meets with Union generals after the pivotal victory at Antietam. This battle marked a turning point in the Civil War, leading to Lincoln issuing the Emancipation Proclamation. During the Battle of Gettysburg, General George Meade's headquarters became the nerve center for the Union's defense, guiding the Army to one of its most decisive victories of the Civil War. A portrait of Confederate General Robert E. Lee in Richmond after the Civil War's end. Lee's leadership in the South remains both celebrated and controversial in American history. Fighting Joe Hooker and his staff at Falmouth, Virginia, 1863. Despite his leadership, Hooker's reputation for drinking and lavish parties at his headquarters raised eyebrows among contemporaries. General Philip Sheridan and his staff pose in 1864. Sheridan's aggressive tactics in the Shenandoah Valley played a crucial role in breaking Confederate morale during the final stages of the Civil War. This Civil War photo captures Union siege guns during the Siege of Yorktown, Virginia. The Union's use of artillery was pivotal in its siege tactics against Confederate strongholds. A rare image of General Stonewall Jackson's cook, proudly wearing medals. This photo highlights the often overlooked contributions of non-combatants to the war effort on both sides. A key Union leader during the Battle of Gettysburg, General Winfield Scott Hancock was known for his bravery and tactical skill, earning the nickname Hancock the Superb from his troops. Civil War photographer Matthew Brady is seen leaning against a tree with General Potter and staff. Brady's iconic photographs played a crucial role in documenting the Civil War for future generations. A Southern-born abolitionist and Union general, David B. Birney fought with distinction in the Army of the Potomac, leading troops in key battles until his untimely death in 1864. General Sheridan stands with his key officers, including Custer and Crook. Sheridan's leadership during the Shenandoah Valley campaign crippled Confederate resources and morale in 1864. A photo of General Charles Francis Adams, Jr., seated in a rocking chair with fellow officers. A descendant of Presidents John Adams and John Quincy Adams, he served in the Union Cavalry. The 164th New York Volunteers gather at the headquarters of General McMahon during the Civil War. This unit was part of the Army of the Potomac and saw action in several major engagements. General Grant and his staff stand on Lookout Mountain after its capture by Union forces during the Chattanooga campaign. Grant's victory here set the stage for his promotion to General-in-Chief of all Union armies. This photo captures Ulysses S. Grant with his family at Mount McGregor, New York, in his later years. Grant led the Union to victory in the Civil War and went on to serve as the 18th President of the United States. General Irvin McDowell and his staff are seen on the steps of Arlington House, formerly the home of Confederate General Robert E. Lee. McDowell led Union forces in the early stages of the Civil War. General William Tecumseh Sherman, key to the Union's victory, stands with his staff in 1865. His infamous March to the Sea devastated Confederate territory, speeding the war's end. General Sherman, leaning on a cannon, poses with his staff at a Federal fort during the Atlanta campaign. Sherman's march to the sea began shortly after his troops occupied the city. This photo shows the General Hauptlokomotive in front of Alexandria Station, Virginia. Named for Herman Haupt, this engineer revolutionized Civil War railroad logistics, aiding Union efforts. Generals Ulysses S. Grant and George Meade consult a map at Massaponax Church, Virginia, during the Overland Campaign. Their collaboration played a crucial role in the eventual defeat of the Confederacy. Philip Sheridan, a key Union general, was instrumental in the destruction of Confederate resources in the Shenandoah Valley and played a crucial role in the eventual surrender of Robert E. Lee at Appomattox. Officers and crew of the Union warship USS Agawam are seen on the James River. The ship played a part in the Union's naval blockade and riverine operations during the Civil War. Admiral Dahlgren, known as the father of American naval ordnance, is seen with his staff aboard his flagship. Dahlgren's innovations in naval artillery contributed to the Union's success at sea. President Abraham Lincoln meets with General George McClellan on the battlefield of Antietam, the bloodiest single-day battle in American history. A collection of photographs honoring Confederate leaders who died during the Civil War. These figures played significant roles in key battles, but fell in the line of duty. An autographed photo of General William T. Sherman from 1886. Sherman remains one of the most controversial Union generals for his scorched earth tactics during the Civil War. Future President Rutherford B. Hayes is shown during his service in the Civil War. Hayes was a steadfast Union officer who was wounded multiple times in battle and later elected the 19th President of the United States. This photo shows Union Captain George Custer posing with Confederate prisoner and former West Point classmate Lieutenant James B. Washington. Their meeting highlights the personal dimensions of the Civil War. In this photo, taken in 1884 or 1885, former Confederate President Jefferson Davis poses with his family and servant in Beauvoir, Mississippi, years after the Civil War. A collection of rare photographs depicting General Ulysses S. Grant at various stages of his life, from his Civil War command to his presidency and retirement. Edward P. Doherty, the Union officer who led the detachment that captured and killed John Wilkes Booth, is remembered for bringing Lincoln's assassin to justice after a 12-day manhunt in 1865. A touching photo of General George Armstrong Custer and his wife, Elizabeth Libby Bacon Custer, taken during the Civil War, highlights their close bond before his infamous demise at Little Bighorn. General Burnside's failed assault at the Battle of the Crater during the Siege of Petersburg was one of the Union's greatest missed opportunities. Burnside was relieved of command after the disaster. A historic depiction of Confederate generals Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson during their final meeting in 1863, shortly before Jackson's untimely death from friendly fire at Chancellorsville. A statue of General Gouverneur K. Warren at Little Round Top, Gettysburg, commemorates his role in identifying the importance of the hill, which became key to the Union's victory. An official portrait of Confederate General Braxton Bragg, known for his controversial leadership in the Western theater of the Civil War, which earned him a divisive reputation among his peers.